fine as it's Friday, and the rest is history. It's Friday. Let me try something real quick. A lot better, right? A lot better. All right, sun is out. Let's do our disclaimer so you can hopefully get some information from this. Hope your day has been well. I hope y'all can't hear that sound. I really hope y'all can hear that. We're doing fire alarms here where we live. And, well, fire alarm inspections. Be that. That don't look right. It's probably not showing up just yet. I think it's now. Waiting for the drive to populate. And there it goes. It showed up. Perfect. Just want to make sure. I got a little nervous for a second. All that. Videos and stuff. It's like not showing. It's not good. Disclaimer. The videos presented here are for informational purposes only. Disclaimer. The videos presented here are for informational purposes only. And therefore, if you are to choose to attend the institution, please do your own research and consult with a specialist at the institution you are interested in. I am not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution. Speaking on behalf of Creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience. His experience. And now we close that out. And what else? It's something we always do. Oh yeah, I join that control room. As we join the control room, of course, our first topic is going to be Trump signed the College Sports Executive Order. Yes. He signed the College Sports Executive Order. I don't think there's much detail on it yet. First and foremost, I don't even think I just know he signed the executive order, which means documents are coming to be passed through the House and such forth. Let's do this. Live. And feel free to go to like 5 minutes. I believe in 5 minutes we should be starting. And if you are still looking at this video, fast forward to 5 minutes if you really want to get started, because we are officially starting at 5. Just giving some content. You would do that one while I'm screaming. A company I'm looking at just hit that mark. I hope it stays there by the time this live stream is over. Ain't that something? So, all right. Let's say 5 minutes. We in there. So, as we said before, Donald Trump signs College Sports Executive Order. He said this is calling college sports a uniquely American institution. Calling college sports a uniquely American institution. The order seeks to use the government's regulatory enforcement, funding, and litigation powers to bolster scholarships for women in non-revenue sports. Cut booster collectives out of the new pay new pay for play era, keep college athletes from being classified as employees, and insulate athletic departments from antitrust challenges. For my political people out there, college sports power brokers have been lobbying for an antitrust exemption to protect their business model and for limits on booster payments. And for limits on booster payments that have supercharged athlete compensation, recruiting, and roster turnover. This is per the White House. So we're going to the White House website. And as I said, this is crazy. We're trying to see what it's about. Oh, it got more information on here than we thought. It's a lot of information. Okay, I'm happy. First time looking at this article with you guys. I think they posted this yesterday, actually. Let me see. No, yeah, they posted this yesterday, but I don't think this probably got posted, of course, after our live stream from the morning. So let's get into it. I'm definitely gonna put the link in here. It's not like no secret link. It's on the whitehouse.gov. So this is coming from the horse mouth itself. I'm gonna put it in the chat for my people when they show up. You know they're watching us, right? So you need to go ahead and just, there you go. Just going a little slow right there. Should be popping up. Boom. There you go, right there. Per whitehouse.gov. Now let's go. So it said they call it, the White House is calling it saving college sports. Always I like to read the top of the sentence. It says right here, usually, about authority invested in me as president, that statement. But the real top of the sentence starts with section 1. So it goes by sections, as in law and policy. So it's very in here as they put this together. I hope they didn't do this. Well, they probably did this when he went and visited months ago. They've been working on it probably. It's been somebody's project and writing. Section 1, purpose and policy. First, this is the first one. It says college sports are uniquely, that's what we read on the last one. But college sports are uniquely American institutions that provide life-changing educational and leadership development opportunities to more than 500,000 student athletes through almost $4 billion in scholarships each year. College athletics also provide a substantial support to local economies and form an undeniable part of family activities, pastimes, and culture in many communities. So, are you trying to mess up on me? All right. So that first line, that first paragraph, really, is saying that college sports, America itself essentially spends $4 billion in scholarships each year. So out of $4 billion of scholarship, that got me thinking. Out of $4 billion in scholarships for student athletes, I didn't manage to get 1 cent or dollar of an athletic scholarship. That's crazy. That's some game out there for the young people who play sports, man. Think about that. If you busting your butt in one sport, you already decreasing your chances of getting a $4 billion scholarship in whatever sport you're doing. Diversify your sports, man. Diversify your sports, first and foremost. So they said this is a big educational and leadership development opportunities when student athletes have a chance to go to college. Now we know essentially athletes, as a former athlete myself, athletes don't prioritize education. You got some that do. Don't get me wrong, it's a good chunk of athletes who, after they get done with sports, they do transition to the, I would say, regular life of being academics, advancing themselves, trying to better themselves, and actually taking the education they did learn and applying it into their, if they do make it professional or if they don't. Some of them do apply. Some of them are learning. Some of them are real student athletes. But in most cases, we know it's only a low percentage that are student athletes, really at heart. I talked to some people in my 2 year who came from universities. They don't have no reason to. And they told me it was some student athletes that couldn't read. I'm not even gonna say the school, but it's definitely a popular football program, very top notch. And they said they players can't even read, but since they can play sports so well, they can get into the school. And it's very important that athletes take advantage of a free education. Bump the money. See, you get education. That's like teaching you how to fish, because then you can do this all the time. I just always like to say that because I know if I was still an athlete, similar to the athletes that are in college or gonna play professional, the academics probably never would have caught up. So it was good that I did make that switch, and so I just always talk about that because I don't think it's talked about enough. And as we keep going, I do want to see if there's a video before we keep going. I do want to see if there's a video that we can look at pertaining to this, because I just know they don't. I just know from experience that ain't no way they just let's do Google. Usually they do a sign in. Yeah, it's like headways right now. Let me see if there's a video on it. YouTube. Let me see. Is there a video? I don't see it. And now my computer is not responding. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? I am going to reboot you, computer. Not now, though. Not now. All right, we're back. We back. And so, let me see something right quick, guys. Computer's going really slow today. Quick. I'm gonna take, how about this? I'm trying to fit something, guys. All right, because what I want to do, let's just keep rolling. In the video, we'll come back to it. I think we got something though that I want to play. And then, let's get down. Let's see what this one is talking about. As I find me a video. This is by This is by, can you let me scroll, computer? My computer is going so slow today, y'all. I'm so sorry for this. It's very much slow. It's by CBS Sports College Football. So we're going to see what they say right quick.
This just into CBS Sports HQ, where President Donald Trump has signed an executive order to, quote, save college sports. Some of the bullet points from the White House include a ban on third-party pay-for-play arrangements. It also requires schools to preserve scholarship opportunities for women's sports and non-revenue sports, while also demanding equitable distribution of revenue-sharing money from schools to athletes in those sports. All right, let's check in with our college football reporter, Brandon Marcello, who's at Big Ten Media Days in Vegas. So, Brandon, what's the big takeaway from the news that we're learning today?
Yeah, the thing to remember here is this isn't a legal order. This isn't something that's going to go into effect or is a new law. But this is something that's going to steer the conversation in Washington as we continue to hear congressional hearings trying to pass legislation to codify a lot of the terms in the House settlement that was announced a couple of months ago. But some key takeaways in all of this is that the president is now directing the Federal Trade Commission, in addition to the Attorney General, to give some antitrust law protection to this new College Sports Commission and to collegiate leaders, which is something they've been really trying to go after the last 3 to 4 years as the House settlement was going on. Also, the big question is how is this going to affect these quote-unquote pay-for-play schemes, as the president mentions in his executive order? As we've seen with the CSC, they've been trying to crack down on NIL collectives. They're asking that you have to provide some evidence of fair market value in these deals. You can't just go pay a player, say, $7-8 million to come there and they don't do anything with that money in return. So not a lot of clear answers from all this, actually more questions. But I think the key takeaway here is that he's directing leaders in government, including with the Federal Trade Commission and the Attorney General, to start making some moves here to provide the NCAA and college leaders some antitrust protection and to also be able to, in a way, get away from these state-by-state laws that differ from state to state when it comes to NIL. Very much a developing situation, but finally with him signing this order, you're going to start seeing some more movement in Washington as we probably get closer and closer to actually seeing some legislation passed in Congress potentially this year.
And we know that you'll be all over it. We appreciate you adding some context here on HQ. Again, Brandon Marcello from Big Ten.
All right. That's one of the videos I got so far on that. They gave us some little good insights. But, of course, everybody's going to have their point of view, right? A lot of people are going to say they don't really agree with pretty much this is putting structure on NIL. And a lot of people are going to say, like, well, you shouldn't have paid the players $7 to $8 million to go there. And it's kind of like, I don't know. When he said paying the players $7 to $8 million, that stuck out to me immediately. When you're saying you're paying a player $7 to $8 million and they don't do nothing, that's an investment. That's the risk of an investment, right? If you really believe in the player, it shows you that they're just getting players. And I'm not trying to get all sportsy, but I'm just trying to be right. Like, colleges are a business. They want to make sure they get the best return off of you versus you getting it off of them. And so when the player is like, they're saying, oh, we don't want to spend $7 to $8 million on the player and they don't do nothing. Well, if you really believe in the player, like how I believe in companies when I invest in them, you know, I'm not worrying about them like not doing what they're supposed to do. And if you think that way about them, why are you trying to recruit them? If you don't feel like they're going to do what they're supposed to do. I think that's a big indicator right there, because if you're worrying about them not doing what they're supposed to do, don't go for the player. Go get a cheaper player and I guess close enough, good enough player and get them for affordable price. There are plenty of athletes out here who are not ranked, personally, who are not ranked, that are just as good as these players who are getting this money. And I think I seen an article a little bit. It was an interesting story about that quarterback who just went number 1. He wasn't even ranked in the NFL. He went to the Titans. He wasn't even ranked number 1. He wasn't ranked highly at all as a prospect coming out of high school. So, like, this is where I'm kind of like exposing the athletic department at a lot of universities, because they don't even have good recruitment skills to be like, you know what, we're gonna go work hard and try to go find a player just as good as this player right here who thinks they're worth 7 to 8 million. Then you can get what, a great return on investment as a school. Instead of going to get a $7-8 million player, I would say go get a $200,000 to $500,000 player who can't afford to go to these camps, who can't afford, they could be good, they just not, might have had a bad day at camp or was nervous. Go check out some games, local games, right? And you might catch a player who just scoring all the touchdowns. You'd be like, wow, who is this kid? And so it's just showing you that, like, you're not going to get free money no more. And players should be trying to navigate this and pay attention to this. Because anything when you get the Fed or executive level involved, is about to be some major structure hand-me-downs. Let's keep going. It says right here, I want to see how it's affecting the colleges and how does it go back to you all, right? So right here it says college football drew tens of millions of television viewers. 65% of 2024 United States Olympic team members were current or former national collegiate athletic, pretty much part of the NCAA varsity athletes, and approximately 75% were collegiate athletes. And they said this has the Olympics tied into it. It says the 2024 United States Olympic team earned 126 total medals, leading the overall medal count for the 8th consecutive Summer Olympics. Now, as we keep going, we're looking for how is this going to affect college? Like, it's heavy NIL, right? It's heavy, like schools are, we don't have the money and we're risking our money and our model. That's what we're looking for. So it seems like that's what the first introduction is about. You have just a little static. Try making sure your headphones are plugged in all the way. Uh-oh. Not this again. He said, oh, it's better. Is it better, G? Let me see. Is it better? Video. Is it better? Video. Is it better? Video. You heard my echo. Is it better? Is it better? You heard my echo. Okay. That seems a little better now. But do you hear it now, G? Do you hear it now? It was good. Hey, G, what's good with you? What's good with you? Do you hear it now? Is everything good right now? Clear? I just want to make sure. Because that's going to be a pain in my editing. And if you hear that right there, that is a fire alarm inspection going on. They keep doing that. Yeah, it's like your headphones are not plugged in all the way. I know, right? It's weird. But as long as we are good now, I appreciate that. Because I would have never known. So all right. Okay. Yeah, I hate that you can hear that. All right. Okay, I'm good. We are good. G has arrived in the chat telling us we are good, surprisingly. So as we keep going, they're talking about money, Summer Olympics, the college athletes, stuff you already know about. And I'm not trying to be a sports analyst, college sport analyst, which I'm not. It's easy to do that job. I don't care how they feel about it. It's just real easy to predict how players are if you understand their characteristics and their mindset. I feel like you can judge any player easily. Don't let them hear that, though. They might not like that answer, but it's true. I think we all play sports enough. We know, like, the personality will show on the court for sure, or any sport, if you understand their personality. So as we keep going, all right, this is a good one. It says, yet the future of college sports is under unprecedented threat. Waves of recent litigation against the collegiate athletics governing rules have eliminated limits on athlete compensation, pay for play recruiting, endowments, I think, and transfers between universities. All right, transfers between universities. That's something we can hit on. So when players started getting paid a lot of money, right? Players are getting paid. I'm even gonna say a lot of money. Players are getting paid. Players are going from Minnesota, right, schools, and coming to going to Miami schools, right? You got people coming from up north, coming down south, people from south going west, and it's crazy. And first and foremost, on the educational side, that's not good for athletes. They say, it's just from my experience, they're like, some people credits are transferring. That's why I talk about Jalen Hurts, because I know he got his master's degree, and I know he started at Alabama, and then he ended up transferring to the University of Oklahoma, which means his credits transfer, or he just waited till he graduated from the University of Alabama and then did his 5th year at Oklahoma. But or he got his bachelor's. Let's go see, because this is a good example. But Jalen Hurts didn't do it because of that. It's just about transferring schools as athletes that I want to highlight. And so Jalen Hurts education, or got his degree, because they'll take me down a whole nother rabbit hole. Yeah, he got his master's degree from the University of Oklahoma. Yeah, so I'm assuming he got his bachelor's from Alabama, and then he got his master's at University of Oklahoma. But they said Jalen Hurts graduates from Alabama / received master's degree at Oklahoma. So I don't really know the details, of course. You know, they don't ever, it was highlighted, of course, but it's not like giving us details. And so let me see right here. Let's hope AI can tell us. Okay, he received his master's. He received a master's in human relations from the University of Oklahoma. He had previously earned a bachelor's degree in communication and information sciences from the University of Alabama. Dope. So why is this important? Well, in this case, his example won't work. He completed all his years at Alabama, got his 4-year degree, and then he transferred to the University of Oklahoma. I'm more talking about an undergraduate, right? You got these athletes who are they'll do like 2 years at a school, and then they'll transfer across to another school. And some may say, oh, well, it's okay because they go to bigger schools. It's no problem, really. You got to think, there are a lot of athletes who are not at bigger schools, and this is hurting them a lot of times. Like, I know athletes who are just bouncing from school to school, school to school, school to school. And when you keep bouncing from school to school, school to school, and they're not really paying attention on if their credits will transfer or not, that can hurt them. And that's what you're spending more time in college, and what you're spending more money in college. So for my athletes who are trying to make it to like the Jalen Hurts professional level, and let's just say you're at a community college, or let's just say you're at another university, vice versa, right? It could be any school. But when you're at that school and you plan to transfer, please make sure that if you are getting NIL money or whatever, just make sure you are transferring to a school where your credits are going to transfer. Do not, if they say, oh, we're only going to take half or a little bit of your credits, if you come, you can send, just say, I'll send it over, let me know what's going to transfer, because you don't want to repeat your classes. Just to hope you make it professional, or for the money. Like, don't get me wrong, unless you're getting millions to transfer and you say, I know I'm not going to use this degree, it's different. And you know you're going to be a professional athlete, I guess. But I really take high recommendation that you get your degree, because you just never know what might happen. And it seems dumb, but once again, your education is invaluable. So for my athletes, we can go deeper into that. But right now, that was a highlight, transferring between universities, because that's messing up schools too. So schools, it's all you got to think, man. Schools might say, oh, we're not accepting that, da da da. They're trying to come from there to here. Schools can be petty, man. Schools can be petty. That's the inside game. Schools can be petty. It's all dependent on that person and who's ever running that school. So be mindful of that, because some schools work in cahoots, and they might say, no, we can't. We in a different conference. They might say, look, that ain't gonna work. I'm telling you guys, I'm just telling you, it's people at the end of the day. But all theoretical, right? But factual about transferring from school to school. Don't do that. Be very strategic with that. They say some changes, and then we'll keep going. Talk about antitrust. If you hear that background noise again, that's the fire alarm again. That is not me. Sorry if you keep hearing that. And so let's go to section 2, because section 1 just pretty much giving us the spiel about policy, why they need to do it. Section 2 is about protecting and expanding women's and non-revenue sports and prohibiting third-party pay for payments. So this is not really. Do you think this is an area we should speak on? So that's 125 million. Yeah, they talking about women's non-revenue. Student athlete status. This is better. So the Secretary of Labor and the National Labor Relations Board, I said bombshell, National Labor Relations Board shall determine and implement the appropriate measures with respect to clarifying the status of collegiate athletes, including through guidance, rules, or other appropriate actions that will maximize the educational benefits and opportunities provided by higher education institutions through athletics. First and foremost, I know they said they are saying they don't want college athletes to be clarified as employees, which I think is crazy. Let me tell you how I know these college athletes are working like employees, essentially. At Valdosta State, this school right here, they have their football program is really good. They send players to the NFL pretty often. It's Division II though, and the athletes practice and work out and do athlete stuff so much in football that they take online classes. This is not the first we heard of this, right? Big time, or athletes taking online classes. If athletes gotta take online classes because it's easier, not easier, but easier as in like, they can be in one place and then all they have to do, they know their assignments are due at 11:59 p.m. every Sunday, depending where you're at, but most of the time it's Sunday at 11:59 for some reason at 11:59 p.m. That's not an athlete, that's an employee. That's what I did. I had a full-time job. Essentially, they are working like a full-time job playing football, and they gotta do classes, so they can submit their work they know is due on Sunday. And I don't know, man. I just feel like, of course, anytime, we said it before, anytime federal get in, it's about to be something that's not fair for you all who are athletes. It's going to be, yeah. As I said before, get your money while you can. And so, as we keep going, they're talking about Olympic team. And is there anything else in here? All right. Some general provisions. The functions of the Director of the Office of Management and Budget relating to budgetary, administrative, or legislative proposals. So this is really about budgets, college budgets. At the end of the day, college budgets are being hit hard. They're having to change their whole business structure, as we said before, layoff employees, admin, anything that they feel is not important. They have been laying people off because of the money they have to pay players. It's not really in their budget. I just think colleges have been a little cheap, personally, because if they have it's just uneven. If we get into it, it kind of leads into a sports debate, but colleges are just uneven with money. Some colleges got big donors, so they could just buy players, and then the schools who don't have big donors and rely on their actual recruitment methods are like they want the money. But it shows you that these students are, you gotta think, man, some of these students are coming from backgrounds they don't have money. And so yeah, it's an easy choice for them to be like, look, I blow my knee, you kick me out the school, and I lose a scholarship. But if I blow my knee, I got money, and I can actually stay at the school and use the money to go to school and be good with my life and continue to go on. So remember, just pay attention. Education is everything. And if you don't have the education, don't you say nothing, Alexa. If you don't have the education, you will fall victim to the same old ordeal. And we played a video too, we played a video. I might try to find another one. Because it's funny that this didn't break or break necks, because the college athletes probably know about this. That's the funny part about it. High school athletes probably don't even know about this shit, which is funny. And it doesn't have many views. It's probably not going to be a problem until like a top college athlete says something about it. That's when it's probably going to get headwind. But G said a big issue a lot of these schools are facing is that they rely heavily on some of the athletics money. And then Columbia actually puts all of their athletics money back into athletics, so they usually break even. That's what they should do it. A big issue. At Columbia, you're student first. At Columbia, you're student first. That means some athlete second, right? Some people don't know that, like, at most schools, the athlete comes first and then the student comes second. So what G said right there, he said a lot of these schools are relying heavily on the athletics money, which means essentially that your college, instead of your college using the athletic money only for athletic money, schools are digging into, like we said, enrollment is low for students. So with enrollment being low, schools are probably dipping their hand into the athletic fund to pay employees who are not doing their job in admissions, execs or deans who are not doing their job. So they can be getting paid potentially. We're just saying potentially. They can be getting paid from the athletic fund. And that's not right. It's just that's mismanagement of money. This money is specifically supposed to be for this specific department. Like I said, if the athletes are generating the most money for the college, they can go and get a new stadium or whatever. As long as they can pay for the lights and everything else in the next 5 to 10 years, they can do that. Like we said, the student affairs side, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. Student affairs have been pushing a narrative of not telling you the real prices of college. Not telling you what comes with taking out these loans, not giving you the proper education. My current school now, and the rest of them, I'm gonna say my 2-year, my 4-year, and graduate school. From my time, I'll say this, it was coming around just in time. Some people might say, oh, they've been doing it, but some people, it probably was like, it wasn't publicized by the college. At my 2-year, they didn't do financial literacy courses. Not courses, but they didn't do financial literacy workshops. At my 2-year, they did not do that. Remember I said my professor brought a financial advisor to the classroom. When I got to my 4-year, I did see my school, my university at my 4-year. I did see them do that. They did it like 1 time, 2 times. But they did it. And then graduate school at Georgia State, I don't know how long they've been doing it, but what was interesting at Georgia State, from all the rest of the schools I went to, they actually brought somebody who was like, they don't have credentials. Essentially, they don't have the formal credentials. They brought an informal person. I would consider informal compared to a college. They brought an informal person, who just learned financial literacy on their own. they brought them to the school. I thought that was interesting because college is it was just a common like sense to me. If you teach students before they get to your school about financial literacy, that can help retain the students. That doesn't mean they're going to leave your school because they can't afford. They're not going to leave your school because they can't afford to go to another school. Like it's real hard for like, because when you already do so many credits, at least for me, when I do so many credits at a school, I'm likely not to transfer because I just don't feel like learning my professors over again. I don't feel like meeting new peers over again. I just don't feel like doing all that again. Unless the school is just really treating me like trash. Like my professors are giving me B's and C's constantly on assignments I deserve A's on. Then we got a problem. So G said some stuff over here. G said, I wouldn't say it's mismanagement now, but I do believe they shouldn't depend so heavily on it. Okay. I don't think it's wrong to redirect funding. Everyone does it. But if having to pay your players messes with your finances so much, something has to change. I read it wrong. I don't think it's wrong to redirect funding. Everyone does it. But if having to pay... Oh, yeah, I said it right. If you teach them financial literacy, they probably would leave, LOL. You think they would leave? I don't think they would leave if you teach them financial literacy. I don't think they would leave. Or even encourage others that it's probably a financial... Or even encourage others that it's probably a financial poor decision. Yeah. Like, because these kids deserve financial education. I think... that really was my thought process a little bit. I thought everybody who went to college, I thought they naturally took financial literacy courses. That's what I thought. No context to it. That's just what I thought. If we just going based off assumption, that was big assumption. I thought if you went to college, everybody was just naturally financial savvy. That's just what I thought. I don't have a reason. I just seen people, like I said before yesterday, I just seen people who went to college and they had things. Like I didn't question how they just had items. Like you think about your teachers in high school, they all went to college. And then you think like, look, they driving this nice car. Like my teachers in high school had nice cars, a few of them. And so I know one of them, my economics teacher, he had a nice 300 Chrysler. I think it was like black on black or something like that. And so, you think they all good with money. And then he teach economics. It's about money, supply, and demand. So you think like, oh, yeah, everybody will know about financial literacy. It's just common sense, right? But that's not the case. As we get older, sometimes. And then G said, I'm not saying don't teach them. I'm saying it might not be in school's best interest to teach it. I gotta disagree with you on that. That's why we have a good ground conversation. If I'm not mistaken, Mississippi and about 11 other states require a personal finance course in high school. It wasn't. I know it's not Georgia because I didn't take no. It was not required to take a personal finance course. Not in Georgia. At least when I was as G would say, at least when I was there. G would say, at least when I was there. Yeah, Georgia wasn't doing that in school. I'm very much self-taught. And so I think that's interesting, guys, about the college, the signing order, the executive order that's being placed on it. So now it's going to have to go, of course, through the houses, like the Senate, the House. I'm not saying that in order, by the way. It had to go through the Senate, the House, and then make its way to Trump desk to be officially signed. But it's an executive order. Because all executive orders, guys, they don't just... it's in law. It's not like that. Like, it's just letting you know they finna put something together real quick, and it's going to make its way through Congress on my congress.gov website that I used. I just gave y'all some game right there on my congress.gov website. So we'll be able to track it. It's going to be updates eventually. But we will keep our eye out on that as it comes and officially will be signed. But he signed the executive order saying it's coming. It's guaranteed coming. We just don't know when and when it's going to come into effect. And so G said, well, what I'm saying, you're more likely to that in high school than college. Yeah, you're more likely to that in high school. I just, I get it though. I get it. It's just it's a gatekeeping thing. Don't teach certain people about certain things so you can keep them a little there and under control. I get it. I get it. Laws of power. I get it. Laws of power out here. I get it. I get it. I get it. I definitely get it. So we're going to jump into the next one. 400 colleges didn't receive payments. 400 colleges did not receive payments. Why are we talking about that? Because your college might be suffering. And your college might have to pay some more money for loaning out money. Your college might have to pay some more money for loaning out money. That's a bar right there, I think, G. That's a bar right there, right? So it's by Chronicle Higher Education. They say, will high loan default rates hurt colleges? And I'm like, what is going on with this? What is going on? I have no idea. Is it an article I can get to? Some of the articles I can't get to. All right, this is by Preston Cooper. Cool, Preston Cooper. Preston Cooper. I've been hearing his name a lot lately. I feel like I heard that name somewhere else. And G said, I agree. I'm not saying it's right. Just that most people wouldn't do anything that would be against their best interests. That is true. That was a bar kind of. No, that was a bar, G. That was a bar. That was a big bar right there. That's a bar that somebody gonna pay me for right there. So over 1,000 colleges could lose access to federal student aid by Preston Cooper. Who is Preston Cooper? Only reason I'm saying that because Preston, I heard his name before. He's a he for sure. I'm looking at his picture. His headshot is he. So Preston said, hold up, first and foremost, this is by, what is this? This is by AEI. What is AEI? They just got I'm on their website, but this is American Enterprise. That was a big bar, LOL. American Enterprise Institute. I never heard of them. Maybe they can be, I'm gonna ask my professor about them. But they talk about housing, science, energy. I'm gonna check them out. I'm gonna bookmark them very quick. There's my professor. They talk about colleges. I never heard of them, but I'm definitely gonna add them to my bookmark. All right, so this is Preston. First paragraph, first line. He says, students are not the only ones who enjoyed a reprieve during, did I say that right? Reprieve? I said that right, G? I said that right? Reprieve. I ain't used Google yet. Reprieve. Shout out to my boy Jalen Hurts, though. He got his bachelor's and his master's. And a Super Bowl. I ain't got no complaints. He educated.
Reprieve.
Reprieve. I said reprieve. 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 Hey. All that out there. Reprieve. So they said students are not the only ones who enjoyed a reprieve during the nearly 5-year pause on federal student loan payments. It was 5 years of not repaying back student loans, federal student loans. That was 5 years, G. I guess it was 5 years, almost 5 years, or nearly 5, 4.5-ish, pretty much at the buying lift, you know. It took time for it to kick in till now. Dang. Wow. I don't know, seeing it is like you had 5 years. No interest, no nothing. Joe Biden broke the law for you. He broke the law for you and you didn't take advantage. Pretty much the whole Biden term. It's just like I like the short responses when G be like, "Yep," pretty much like the whole body term. Wow, they bent the law for us. They bent the law for them people out there who got the student loans, federal student loans, and you didn't pay them back. So right here it says colleges also got a break. That was one of the big things. I wouldn't say he broke the law. I say he bent the law because anytime you take out money that's not yours, you have to pay it back. Anytime you take out money, that's a loan technically. When that's a loan, if I took out a loan and I used it on something else, I know that's definitely you can't do that. But I took out a loan and I did something, I used it, whatever, and I don't pay it back, I can go what? I can get my credit score messed up, of course, bankruptcy, and then depending how much I take out, I might do some jail time because they might write it up as fraud. It all depends. I'm not a detective. I'm not a criminal enterprise. I'm just. And then he didn't bend it as the president when you borrow from. He didn't bend it as the president when you borrow from the government. They can forgive it if they want to or pause payments. I think you bent the law still. Colleges also got a break from a rule that bars them from the federal student aid system if their former students' loan default rates are too high. Colleges had got a break from that around that time. It says now that student loan payments have resumed, however, too many borrowers are not paying their loans. They still not paying their loans. If this non-payment translates to higher loan defaults, over 1,000 colleges are at risk of losing their federal funding. Nah, he said, Preston said over 1,000. I think it's over 2,000. I think it's more than we think. But I gotta remember how many colleges we have in America, so that could be accurate. Wow. Them students not gonna pay it back. They're not gonna pay him back. They still think it's a joke. They're not gonna pay him back. And so schools can lose their federal funding. Let's keep going. The cohort default rate measures the percentage of borrowers who took out loans to 10. All right, this is important right here. If a college CDR, which is a cohort default rate, never heard of it, it's actually a definition to it and everything. A cohort default rate. So guys, if you are going to a college, you need to be talking to your financial aid heavy right now. If you rely on financial aid people, this go for your Pell, anything dealing with financial aid at your institution, you might want to pay attention. They said right here, if your college, they say if a college, but if your college cohort default rate exceeds 30% for 3 consecutive years, so if they do 30, 60, if they pretty much do 90% overall, but if they do 3 consecutive 30% years, I hope I said it right, 3 consecutive 30% years, yeah, or 1 40% year, 1 40% year on a CDR, they could lose access to federal student aid, including Pell Grants and student loans. And guys, like they said before, students are not paying on it at all. So you might have one year you can have it, your school can have it, which means you can have it, but you need to figure that out because they said it's starting in August. Schools, I know school for me and graduate school starts August 25th. So you need to be reaching out to your school and seeing if they on the chopping block losing this federal student aid. Let's keep going. I know G said so. I'm gonna go to G now. G said he didn't bend it Oh, you said that. We already read that. He said, nope, not until they start docking their checks. Another power of the U.S. government. Yeah. I kind of get it and kind of don't. What you kind of get, G? The CDR? The credit default, credit default rate, the cohort. Why am I struggling? I'm in a cohort default rate. There you go. I'm in a cohort right now. My goodness. You talking about that, G? They must have censored my first one. No, I read your other one, G. He didn't bend it as the president. When you borrow from the government, they can forgive it if they want to or pause payments. I read that. And right here it says during the pandemic era payment pause, the official CDR was 0. I said they are punishing schools for students not paying loans. Oh, are they punishing schools for not paying student loans? Yes, they are paying. They are punishing schools. They're punishing schools for the students not paying back the student loans. Yes, they are. Is that basically what they are doing? Yes, that's what they're doing essentially, with the official cohort default rates. So the official cohort. Hold on, while it's saying it in a sentence is hard. The official cohort default rate has always been a thing, and so it's not nothing new. It's always a thing. It's like probably one of those measurements that they have to follow to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to doing, because it's like anything. When you take out federal money, there's guidelines to it. You can't just get federal money. A person, enterprise / institution, you can't just get money and not expect to have no measurement on you for it. No such thing as free money, right? And so in conversation with G said, okay, that's what I was saying. I kind of get it and kind of don't. Yeah, it's just a measurement, because right here I'm on the federal student aid website, which is official website from the United States government. And of course financial aid, they know this like probably like the back of their hand. And right here, the U.S. Department of Education. Actually, I don't know if this. I think all of this can fit. I got you, G. Hold on, right quick. You probably already got this. They got that right there. That's with the information on there. And then G said, the only reason I don't understand it is that they give student loans to anyone pretty much. So would that mean they have to be more selective with who they give it to? And then G said, I'm sure there's some kind of mechanism, but what if your parents broke? Because the assumption is that you might be. Because exactly, your parents are broke. That's where the financial education comes in, right? That's what I feel like, a little financial education. Not a lot, but a little financial education. If you know, or you have self-awareness, it's like self-awareness, financial education. Students just pull out money. If in an ordeal work environment, students, like an average student, because we're not really average students, G. An average student who goes into the financial aid office, right? And they say, I don't have $3,000 to pay for the rest of the school. Like they meal plan, everything got paid off, but they still short $3,000. Then they go to the school, and it's for the semester. They're $3,000 short for the semester. They go to the financial aid office, and then they say, look, I need like $3,000. The financial aid person, who doesn't even, by the way, you don't even need financial. Let me tell you about financial aid. Let me tell you about that. Financial aid, you don't even need a financial background. Like, you don't, I feel, which is crazy. People who work in financial aid don't even have like financial savviness. most times. They can go to school for health care and be working in financial aid. When I say that is a red flag in itself, which means a person who can be telling you you should take out this $3,000 don't have the financial education to be like asking you proper questions like, do you know like this money is borrowed and you have to pay this back? So like you said, G, there's not really, that's the problem with higher education. There's no structure. All I'm saying is that I'm sure they about to be really selective and broke people are getting the broken end of the stick. It's always gonna be that. It's always gonna be and that makes sense when you take that makes sense when they want you to take the loan. Exactly. And so the broke people are gonna get the bad end because they want you to stay and go to school. And then that's why enrollment numbers or retainability is low right there. That's why enrollment is low. That's why retainability is low. Because, okay, let's say the student do take the $3,000 loan, but they find out this ain't really what I want to do, and they drop out anyway. True story. They're going to do it anyway. And so, either way it go, broke people, poor people, they're always going to get the bad end of the stick because they don't even have the resources or education to really navigate something. That's the bad end about that always, as we learn and as I get older, and but the real thing about this is that this cohort default rate has always been a measurement. It's always been a thing. It's not really something that just came out of the sky. It's always been a thing as we keep going. And so G right here saying because they want you to say, I'm saying financial aid offers are there to follow policy, not give financial advice. They give their money regardless when you take the loan. Oh, they get their money regardless when you take the loan. He said officers. What you saying that? Oh, I see what you're saying. Financial aid right there. They get their money regardless when you take the loan. Yeah, financial aid. They gonna get their money. All they do is calculate, but I'll let my financial aid specialist tell that because it's not complicated. It's everything is taught on the job with financial aid. It's not, well, at least I didn't see any schools, but I'm pretty sure schools do offer that who have better higher education programs. I'm pretty sure they do let you take a financial aid course. I really think they should offer that course at Georgia State. FYI, giving them some game. The department provided me with data on the proportion of student borrowers broken down by the institution who entered repayment after January 2020 and were in default or at least 90 days delinquent. Well, on their way to default as of May 2025. That's what they said. The data is also communicated to institutions of higher education. And then we blah, blah, blah. Colleges could... All right. The data showed that 13 colleges had non-repayment rates above 30%. Meaning that they could soon exceed the threshold for losing access to student aid. Another 656 colleges had non-repayments close to the threshold between 25 and 29%, meaning they are not out of the danger zone. But right here, because I skipped a little part of it, it says in 2020, where is it? In 2020, it said during the pandemic era, payment pause, the official CDR was 0. Students can't default if they don't owe payments. So when the Biden administration did that, well, first and foremost, during the pandemic era, we had Trump for the pandemic era. And this is not pointing fingers, this is just going back in history, literally. So the CDR was 0. Students can't default if they don't owe payments. If before the pause, even before the pause, Only a handful of schools fail the CDR every year. Only a handful of schools fail the CDR every year, making the rule somewhat of an afterthought. But now loan repayments are due again, and non-payment rates have skyrocketed thanks to the Biden administration mismanagement of the transition back into repayment. Okay. Okay. That's literally quotes. I quoted that because I was reading it. Then they're showing us some schools. So what they're saying, oh, okay. On the good end, most of the schools that are in trouble are for-profit institutions. Most of them. And then you got some public schools. I'll probably say like 300, high 400-ish, who are gonna be hit with that. Wish I knew the schools. Right? Ooh, bless me. Thank you. So, right here, G said, regardless of whether you graduate or not, the school gets their money if you take out the loan. Then G said, financial aid officers don't have to be financial savvy to tell an 18-year-old kid to take a loan. Dang, G, you making it seem like they don't even, the financial aid officers, shoot, they should at least be a little, hey, you're 18. Do you even know what a loan is? No. Like, hey, do you know the consequences of this? Like the financial aid people, they like, man, I don't got time to explain this. I need to do my job. Here, apply for this. If you get approved, blah blah blah. Like, help the kid. Like, so they say right here, an institution could lose access to the aid if the CDR is north of 40% for a single year. Nearly 400 institutions in the department's data have a non-payment rate above 40% as of May 2025. And then right here, for instance, Colorado Technical University saw 69,000 former students enter repayment after January 2020. And 42% of those students were in default or at least 90 days delinquent as of May 2025. If that rate holds, the school could lose access to federal aid sometime after the first post-pause CDRs are published, most likely next year, so spring 2026, start of the new year. Oh, we got a list. G. We got a list. Let's see if we know any colleges on here. All right, they say right here, colleges which could lose access to federal aid in 1 year. This is going to be a clip, so I want to take my time, make it a little 5-minute, 6-minute segment a little bit. Colleges which can lose access to their federal aid in 1 year. Institutions of higher education with a federal student loan non-payment rate of 40% or higher. A non-repayment rate of 40% or higher. Let's get it. So this is like a proprietary. Hold on. How you say that? I think I said that right. I seen your comment too, G. Proprietary. I think that's how you say it, bro.
Proprietary.
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 What is it? Proprietary. A proprietary. They said it was like / for profit. A proprietary college, also known as, yeah, it's for profit. Okay, fancy word. These are for profit colleges. They're only talking about. You can wait until you get your clip. So they have these are for profit colleges on this list right here, and one of them is one that is a private nonprofit. All right, so most of these colleges are for profit, which means you probably never heard of them. 9 times out of 10. But you might have. If anybody heard of it, let me know. So I'm going down the list. It's not that many. You have Colorado Technical University. I never heard of it. Post University. Never heard of it. Oh, let me do this too. This one is in Colorado. CO is Colorado. CO. Then Post University is in CT. What's CT? What's CT? I don't know what CT is. Hold on. CT. What is that? That is Connecticut. No, I ain't never been to Connecticut. I did not know that. So Connecticut, American Intercontinental University System. I think I heard of them. They're in Arizona. I think I heard of them. Let me see. I think I heard of them. Oh, they're for profit? I have heard of them. American Intercontinental University, if I said that right. I don't even care to say y'all name right no more. Y'all are for profit? Oh man, I did not know that. They're on the list for losing their federal aid. I didn't know that. This school has been advertised a lot too. Their non-repayment rate is 45%. They're done. They're done. Because that school is expensive. If we go look at any for-profit school, we're probably gonna look at them. I don't think they're under the U.S. Department of Education College Scorecard. Let's keep going. The United Education Institute. This is in California. I never heard of them. Maryland College, guys. I heard of them. AIU had a lawsuit against them. Wow. Maryland College, 47%. 47%. Guys, this is the school that's in my city. In my city, Columbus, Georgia. Maryland College. Maryland College is terrible. Don't go to these schools. They're for profit, obviously. Don't go to these schools. They're not accredited, and they're gonna charge you expensive money. Oh man, I didn't know they were based in Tennessee though, and they're on the chopping block. They at 47%, so they're most likely going to lose their student aid this upcoming 2026. Wow, man, they should have made an exemption, man. The Biden administration should have made an exemption. They should have made an exemption. Like they should have said these schools right here, they still can default. That's crazy. Like think about it. These schools were not getting default, so they didn't. The CDR didn't happen to them the whole time. The Biden, like when Biden, what's his name? Dang, I can't get his name out. When Biden was president, they were exempt from defaulting, and wow, they finna be hit hard. We got Florida Career College. They're in Florida. Obviously, it's in the name. Southern Careers Institute. Just to name a few. Let's go to the next page. I don't see nobody else on here that's worth saying out loud. Let's go to page 2. It's a lot of pages, actually. I didn't know it's that many pages. Wow. All right, guys. I gotta say this one. Benedict College is on this list. It's a private nonprofits in South Carolina. Why did I say Benedict College? That school did a lot of my people wrong. I know a lot of people that went to this school from my high school that went to that school. No sympathy for them. No sympathy for Benedict. They at 42%. I hope it keeps going up. I hope it keeps going up. They did a lot of my people wrong, man. A lot of my people who went to school with me that I still talk to. A lot of them. And let's keep going. I heard of Miles College. Miles College is at 44% of non-repayment. I meant non-payment. This is in Alabama. What's Miles College? Is that an HBCU as well? I don't think it is. I heard of Miles College before though. It is historical black private school. Oh wow, that's another one. Ooh. Y'all know something? I'm starting to notice a pattern right here. You know the not Joe. G, you noticing the pattern right now? Are you noticing the pattern right now? What we noticing? And then as we keep going, these are mostly for profits. Bro, they at 57%. Oh my goodness. This school's called National University College IBC Institute. Yes, I am. Yeah, okay. Because I'm noticing the pattern too. Like, besides these, like, they got some private nonprofit in here, and I'm focusing on those a little bit too. But most of these are for-profit schools. And I'm definitely, wow, this is a great article, and it's free. And they said right here, the source, the United States Department of Education. The student loan non-payment rate is the percentage of the direct loan borrowers who first enter repayment after January 2020 and are either in default or more than 90 days delinquent on their loans as of May 2025. So this came from the actual what? United States Department of Education. Why is this important? Because a lot of kids are going to these schools right now this fall. So that means this upcoming spring 2026, January 2026, students are not going to have their federal student aid. And since everybody loves to talk about, oh, the poor, the black people, whatever, they're going to feel it the worst because they're not going to see this coming. And we already saw 2 HBCUs, for example, right? They are going to be in the non-repayment unless they make a quick turnaround and say, look, you need to pay this, or I don't know how they're going to do it, but we already saw 2 HBCUs, private, non-profit HBCUs that are on this list, which means a lot of those African-American students are about to lose their what? Financial aid. And they said at Georgia State in research, African Americans are the most to what? Get financial aid. You see my eyes? Most to get financial aid. Pay attention. That's all I'm saying. Pay attention. This is what they don't show and tell you. Pay attention. It's free. It's on public. It's all on the public website. It's all free information. Pay attention. But everybody focused on, that man's wife in concerts and stuff. That man right there, yeah, Jay-Z. Everybody focused on his wife and performing and Diddy cases and all this other crap going on out here. So, then we just gonna get more Glorrillas and more rappers, I guess. I guess that's just what we want to settle on. Okay. So, what's another college on here? Private, nonprofit, Lincoln College. I think I heard of them before too. But it's a lot of Lincoln colleges, I think. So I'm not gonna dive into that one. But they're on here. And I could be missing some I just don't know about. What about Allen University? They on here. That sounds like interesting. It's in South Carolina, so let me see. Allen University. Oh, that's another. Allen University is another HBCU. Did not know that. I just thought when I heard Allen and then University, South Carolina, I know it's a lot of HBCUs in the South. So that's my little skill set. I guess. But they have 45%. Another one, private nonprofit. And a lot of these are private nonprofits. It's crazy. Because it said up here just a minute ago, private nonprofits, it's not that many private nonprofits on the list. And it seems like a lot of them, a good few of them are HBCUs so far. Like, it's, trust me, while I'm looking at it. And G said, yeah, a lot of students are going to be hurt. And G said, I heard of a Lincoln College that closed in 2022. I said in 2022, but in 2022. Yeah, I think somebody from my high school went to Lincoln College, but I don't know if it's that Lincoln College. And I don't want us to go down a rabbit hole. Oh, St. Augustine University. We just talked about them, G. Private nonprofit in North Carolina. The historical HBCU, they on the chopping block as well for losing their federal student aid. They finna close down. G, I'm calling it now. St. Augustine's University is about to close down. I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now. They're on the chopping block to lose their federal student aid. They already in a lot of debt. They're unaccredited. Man, that school finna close down, man. That school done. That school is done. That school is done. Man, we clipping it up. This is going to be a good clip. I'm sorry if it's long, but this is going to be a good clip. Wow. It's crazy. I'm going to stop on page 6, because, man, it's like 20 pages of these colleges. I'm going to put this in the description. For sure. And I'm going to just make sure everybody pays attention. And then one more scroll, guys, on page 6. Let's see if we see another college on here. I see Texas College. It's a private nonprofit. They got 54%. They're done. They're done as well. Let's see. I want to see what college this is. Texas College is another historical black Christian. This is a Christian Methodist college in Tyler, Texas. It is affiliated with the United Negro College Fund. Oh, wow. Dang, it's a lot of HBCUs on here. Interesting. It's all private nonprofits. This is what the patterns have been coming out. What about this school right here, Willie University? Let me see. Ain't no way it's this many HBCUs about to be affected. That is crazy. Willie University, another historical black college in Marshall, Texas. Shoot, they percentage is 45%. Texas College, 54%. Morris College, that sounds like a HBCU as well. They have 48%. Is it all HBCU? What's going on? Hold on. The person who wrote this didn't even mention HBCUs in the paragraphs. So they giving like some real man, they giving some real you see the pattern I saw before? Yeah, that's the pattern I was seeing, G. And now I'm saying it out loud because I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Morris College, that sounds like dang, it's a HBCU too. Yo, wow, that's crazy. And this is all the 40%. Like 40% and over, or if you even touching 40%, if you're rounding up to 40%, you're done. This is a good live screen. This turned into a great live screen. This might be one of our live screens, bro, that you just gotta play back because we're naming these schools. Oh, okay. Hello, I thought so. And so then they got a list right here with 30% and 39%. See, this is what I like doing right here. Finding stuff like this. Because this right here, we're going to be like, oh, we saw it coming and nobody listened. And so colleges which could lose access to federal aid in 3 years. They're between, see, they got time though. If they're between, they get, they got years to get it down. But those up there, the schools we were naming, like Morris and Allen and the HBCUs that are private nonprofits on top of that. Remember what I told you guys. These private schools are too expensive. And these are historical black colleges. And hey, pay attention. That's all I'm saying, man. Pay attention. And so they got the schools on here, Strayer University. They're in the 34% range. I'm not gonna go focusing too much on them. On the 30 and 39%, because that can change. They got 3 years to get that right and get that down. But them hitters up there, that's gonna happen this year, next year, 2026. And then as we keep going, in conclusion, to be sure, not every institution with a failing CDR will lose access to federal funding entirely. Colleges may appeal their CDR determination and plead exceptional circumstances, such as appeals succeed more often than not. He said appeals succeed more often than not. So we're going to see a lot of colleges making appeals. We're going to see a lot of colleges making appeals. They might get some news. Hopefully we get wind of it. And first and foremost, this includes all the other things they have to think about, guys. Remember the budget tight. They're cutting staff. So many micro factors that's already happening at the school. And then now they got to throw in these macro problems on top of it. And so in May, the education department sent a Dear Colleague letter asking colleges to remind recent alumni of their student loan obligations and ensure they are aware of resources to help them return to society. Man, imagine you graduated college. They said in May, the education department sent a dear colleague letter to the colleges reminding. I'm gonna copy it. Man, imagine you graduated college in spring, and then your college hit you like in June about, look, you need to repay your federal student loans. Imagine that. You think they really care about your graduation? Nope. That's why I'm not walking at graduation. You don't even care about me, bro. Like, you don't even care. You don't even care about me. It hurts my soul. Like, man, you think you balling? You done took out them loans, bro. They going through it, bro. Oh my goodness. Next segment. Next segment for the people, man. Next segment. That was pretty good, Preston. That was pretty good. That's like everything I would want to talk about if I was writing that. That was pretty good. Yeah, I'm putting that in the description. They need to see that. It is free. At least right now it's free. So I'm putting that in the YouTube description. What's our last segment? So this is more opinionated, G. I need your help on this, G, if you got time. I need your help on this. So do you feel like, I'm about to read the one sentence line real quick. Where is it? All right. So right here, it says Indiana's college going rate. So pretty much students in Indiana, their going to college going rate is dropping. 52% of the state's 2023 high school graduates enrolled in college within a year. Within a year, that's they enrolled in college within a year. That's down from 53% in each of the 3 prior years and 65% a decade ago. And to help that out, I'm going to put it in here. So if you got, so that right there, and then here, no, not that one. They said the drop is prompting worries from higher ed's backers in a state that shifted its emphasis toward work-based learning and credentials. Why did I want to talk about that? Because of course I don't live in Indiana. But one thing I can say that Indiana's shifting their perspective to work-based learning and credentials it made me think of a different perspective. Very opinionated. There's a link to an article, I think, by Indiana Capital Chronicle. Let me click on that. Yeah, and so right here, remember the college going rate drops. It's dipped to 52%. The new data was quietly released by Indiana's Commission for Higher Education. So Indiana is shifting their perspective, or already shifted their perspective. This is essentially why it dropped. Let's look into it a little more before I say my perspective, because I could be wrong. I don't want to say it and then I'll be completely wrong. And I didn't look. Let me look into it a little bit. Let's see real quick. Fear of infection. All right, so a decade ago they hit 65%, but that's down 53%. They saying 53% between 2020 and 2022, because the state's peak was 65% of students going to college. Remember, everything moves in a cycle, because the next 10 years people might start going back to college. So on the upside, but we can't predict the future. Around 36% of all graduating seniors enrolled in one of Indiana's public 4-year institutions, followed by 8% who chose a private college or university. Another 7.6% went to a school outside of Indiana, according to data. The figures posted to the agency website earlier this month reflect concerns state leaders have long expressed about Indiana's declining college-going culture And this could be in other states about declining college going students. I don't know, they're posting it, but what if the state, not like this is their agency, like the college higher, of course what the commissioner of high, well, maybe the commission don't, because remember the commission said, I think they said the commission shifted to work-based learning. Let me be correct before I say that. It says the higher ed backers in the state, it says the drop is prompting worries from higher ed backers in the state that shifted its emphasis. So they did this. They said they're worrying, but they shifted to an emphasis toward work-based learning, which means like they're pushing heavily that students should go straight into what? Working career fields, working demand things. They shouldn't be going to traditional colleges. Usually when it's work-based learning, you're not going to a traditional college, you're not going to community college to transfer, you're just focusing on getting a trade and keeping it pushing. And G said something. G said, I would be interested to know what they are doing other than college for it to drop. That's exactly what I wanted to figure out. Because they said they dropped it, they changed, they said but Indiana like commission, the higher ed commission, Indiana higher ed commission shift their focus pretty much to work-based learning. Like working, essentially. And let's keep going through this. Okay. There go Delaney again. So right here, I caught a glimpse of this. It says Delaney maintained, because they got a picture of him right here. Delaney maintained that Republican leaders have been he says, because he's a Democrat, I believe that's what they're saying. Delaney maintained that Republican leaders have been devaluing the opportunities that our colleges and universities can offer students. He said at the same time, the supermajority has made attacking colleges and universities the centerpiece of their culture war agenda, from policing what can be taught in the classroom to forcing institutions to eliminate hundreds of degree options to creating an entirely new high school diploma that emphasizes the path directly into the workforce, the lawmaker said. So, so pretty much he is saying that Republicans have been taking stuff out of coursework in high schools. So students are like, bunk college, I ain't going to college. And so like Republicans essentially are like, yeah, we're going to make y'all come work and we need to build this workforce back up. Because this ain't just no overnight thing. Republicans, when we had Biden in office, they gave them time to prep and years before to like do what they want to do in like classrooms. Because remember, people think, and G, please jump in, don't be quiet on this one. People think the most important part is the president, or that is an important part. People think the president and his administration is the most important part, when I think real people know that the important ones are, the real ones are, I don't even play chess, but if it was on I don't know what chess piece this would be on the board, but those governors, and like the governors in those states, in different states, those are the important ones for sure. And then so on and so on, because they all play a part in like, all right, we probably didn't get president, but we got the governors, so we can still do this in this state and that state and that state and this state, and still do some damage and still get where we want to go ultimately. And G said, then maybe they are following a trend set by the students, I suppose. College educated or not. You said college educated or not. Yup. So, and that's pretty much it though, really. Besides them taking shots at each other, as always, Republican and Democrats fighting instead of trying to do what's best for, or they both feel like they're doing. They both feel like they're doing what's best for the kids, students. That's what they say, but yeah. And then they got right here by the numbers. Lord, they really got something in here by the numbers. So, according to the numbers published by CHE's online college going dashboard, who is CHE? Who is CHE? Chronicles of Higher Education. I'm assuming Chronicles of Higher Education. I'm assuming. I'm gonna click on it. I'm assuming Chronicle of Higher Education. No, it is. I don't know who is CHE. Guys, you really gotta chill with the acronyms. They be doing these acronyms like we just know. I might be getting censored for real, LOL. I said conservatives really want you to work educated. I said conservatives really want you to work educated or not, LOL. G said, I think I'm getting censored. What are you saying? G said, I might be getting censored for real. But CHE, where's the CHE at? Is that, I feel like I've been looking at, oh, the Commission on Higher Education. That's probably what it is. So the Commission on Higher Education, then they got their numbers. On second thought, maybe I should add them. If they're using them as a credible source, well, yeah, and this is the Indiana Commission for Higher Education. Okay, this is their .gov website. So I'm going to add this. This is Indiana. So I'm going to just add it. It's credible for sure. So I'm going to add that. And then by the numbers, I don't think I'm saying anything crazy. The vast majority of 2023 grads who continue their education earn some form of college credit while still in high school. 86% of college goers took and passed an advanced placement exam. 65% earned dual credit. 91% earned the Indiana College Core Diploma, which comes with a block of 30 general. Oh, wow. It comes with a block of 30 general education credits that can be transferred to and accepted at colleges across the state. Wow. How you earn that? I like that. The Indiana College Core Diploma. 30 general education credits. That's pretty much almost a whole associate's degree. Because I think it's like, yeah, I think it is. No, I think it's 60 to get an associate's degree. I think it's 60 credits. I could be wrong. I think it's 60 though. And then you do your net 60 at a university. Makes it 120. But 87% earn associate's degrees. 64% earned another type of credential. Then they got the name of the degrees. And then they're going into like demographics, racial groups. They said among racial groups, Asian and white students had the highest college going rates at 71% and 54% respectively. So in that order, Asian Americans 71, whites 54%, and then college going rates among racial groups led black students 46%. This is in Indiana. Hispanic students 42%. So yeah, but as we keep going, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Whew, that's a lot of numbers. But I feel like the whole ordeal is they're pushing exactly what I thought. They said Republicans. That's what it felt like. It felt like, looking at it, like, did y'all want that? Does the Indiana Commission of Higher Education, do they want to steer them toward a straight workforce? working. A lot of this is getting retracted too. Are you taking these comments away, G? I'm gonna refresh. G said, I don't think I'm saying anything crazy. That's the last thing I see. Because I seen something that's getting retracted. And so pretty much that was my perspective on the Indiana college going rate. I feel like it was more of not just Indiana. I feel like other states are going to do that. Be pushing. Georgia's already doing it. They're pushing more of a workforce agenda instead of you actually going to college and getting like a STEM degree or like something with technology or liberal arts. They're just pushing more workforce and on some states. I can't say exactly what states, but states are pushing that more. And they might be highlighting the whole gist of it. They're highlighting, oh, enrollment is going down or college going is going down. We really want it to be higher. I don't think they really want it to be higher. I think they want to push that and want more students not going to college or getting what they need, like the bare minimum. So it's a win-win, right? You work for us and you get a great return on investment. I didn't really agree with Common Core, but a lot of states, especially conservative states, want you to work. Yeah, they want you to work for sure. And conservative, that's why I felt like it was, G. Because I was like, it feels as if like, remember, we got to read between the lines, y'all. Schools are, this is why it matters what school you go to and you got to know what you're looking for. Even though they're saying like, they might not even post this, but even though they're saying like, oh, college goers are dropping, that's probably their plan. We plan to raise that back up, just not now. And like G said, the conservative states want you to work. And right now, remember the main agenda right now, nonpartisan. The main agenda right now is that you can spend a little money going to a 2-year. This is what they're pushing. I'm not pushing that. They said spend a little money going to a 2-year and then go straight into the workforce. Be a plumber. Be a Be a plumber, carpenter, welder. We need those jobs. You know, they're pushing that. I am in I would say a conservative state. Georgia is conservative. And so if you go to a 2-year, that's more likely what they want you to do at a 2-year. If you go look at all the 2-year colleges in Georgia, they're pushing welder, they're pushing plumbing. You won't see traditional students in lab coats that are at 2-year colleges. You won't see that. You're going to see, as we like to say in the military, you're going to see the dirt boys. You're going to see machine learning. You're going to see all trade stuff. So I think I said before that video about, I'm going to say Employee Matter talks about the long-term effects of doing that. That's the same video. I don't know if I'm going to go watch it again. Because I probably missed that. I'm going to go watch it again. I did finish it. I'm going to go watch it again. I remember you telling me about that video. I'm going to go watch it and make sure. And then, because the long-term effects of it, yeah, in that video, closer to the end, yeah. Because I probably zoned out at the end a little bit. And now I got a little quiet time. I'll probably make that my homework to do right after this. Because we about to do we finna review a college. We're actually going to do one of the HBCUs that was on that list. That's in the pretty much the bracket of being hit the hardest for that CDR. So I feel like that's a good idea to do one of those. And then I'll go watch that video because, yeah, it's not going to... Common sense. I don't think that's a good idea right now. Like Warren Buffett said, America should stick to doing what they do best. And we're not in that phase no more of... And we've been having propaganda stuff, too, with China. that I've been hearing about. People been talking about on social media. And so Warren Buffett believes we're not that country. I quote, he believes we're not that country at building things no more. He feels like we should just keep doing what we're doing with countries. And I have to get a little more educated in that area of knowing like what could potentially happen. I don't want to just say something, I don't want to say anything just random, like, oh, this is going to happen if they keep pushing the trade agenda and students are not going to college and, all of this. I already got my agenda of like the student loan debt, college is paying too much money to presidents and execs. I already got my agenda on that. I already know what's going to happen on that. But I really feel like the colleges are going to get bailed out, which is going to probably going to contribute to what potentially like a bear market in making the economy bad. But I don't know if it carries that much weight because it's going to have to be multiple factors that play into that. Because, you borrow too much money, it's never good. It's never good when the country borrows too much money and things crash. So higher education is one of those factors, I feel like. But we'll see. Can't predict the future. We'll see. And so G said he talks about college being oversaturated and just pushing that oversaturation in the trades. That's a different scream, LOL. We can get into that at a later date. And then G said about the China propaganda, the lights of Warren Buffett. You have heard of Ray Dalio. He's in that too. Yeah, actually, real quick. Real quick. Let's pick a college. I can show you real quick. Let's do, what college had a big percentage? They had a fat percentage. I want to do that one. Let's do Allen. No, Allen. I think somebody was like 50%. Yeah, let's do Texas College. They like 54%. Let's do Texas College. Yeah, we're gonna do Texas College. That's the HBCU. Texas College. We'll do Texas College out there. Man, it's so many colleges. Like, it's like we never gonna run out of doing this. Like, it's so many colleges. Yeah, they're HBCU. All right. It's at the bottom. It's at the bottom. Yes, G. I do have that book though. I have Ray Dalio's Life and Work. The principles. I don't know if it's principles or is it? I haven't read it yet. I think it's called Principles. But it's the Life and Work one by Ray Dalio. And yeah, I have that. And Ray Dalio been saying that. He has been wearing it out. And he just, I don't know, Ray Dalio, I think he just getting older. Honestly. I think he just, cause yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I just feel like Ray Dalio, I think he getting older. I think Ray Dalio is, he needs to chill out. He need to be more like a lot of these older wealthy people need to be like Warren Buffett. They just need to chill out and make their money. Because Warren Buffett be like, America's in a great position. We're in one of the best countries. And he be chilling. That's one thing I like about Warren. He be chilling. Warren speaks from very I sit back and watch everybody talk. It's a longer conversation about a complex situation, LOL. Yeah. We don't want to sound... A lot of that is how he made his money. Who, Ray Dalio? You talking about Ray Dalio, G? Where is this college? Yeah, Ray Dalio Warren too, yeah. Yeah, maybe, yeah. they all got on that Warren Buffett and chilled out. It'd be a lot calmer. Where is this college? I'm looking for this college. It's in Grand Avenue, Tyler, Texas. Did I not type in the right college? Texas College. So many Texas colleges popping up. Like, you think they would all have one name. That's when you know you got too many colleges, when they all have similar names. You're like, oh, no, I went to that. I went to that other Texas college. Oh. Too many of them. Oh, man. Not again. Not again. Drake. Uh-oh, here you go. Not again. Yeah, I found it. Tuition and fees. Guys, this college here is not cooking at all. First and foremost, yeah, is this college accredited? They got me wondering, are they accredited? Are they accredited? I don't see it. Wow, this school going through it. Yeah. Peace and quiet, because moment of silence. The school going through it. All right. And it's a real school. It's a real school. Like, this is a real school. Like, yeah, they're very active. Texas College Choir, Tanisha Jackson performed. Happy This Person Day. They said they will observe that day of Juneteenth. Yeah, they even on the U.S. News and World Report, they're ranked number 42 to 45 as one of the best regional colleges. Regional, keyword. And their reviews, if it wasn't real, if it wasn't real. I'm just saying, because what I'm about to say is kind of crazy. That's why I'm like, okay, I'm about to jump in. All right, Texas College. They say right here they have 644 undergraduate students. I don't know how true that is. That's not a lot of students at all. And so they have a 19% graduation rate. That's crazy. 19%? Is that even true? Like, that's what I'm like, is that real? Is it real? We're gonna browse their internet. I meant their website. We're gonna have to go through this after this. So according to the College Scorecard, they have a 19% graduation rate. The average is part of the HBCU fund. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's part of the Negro fund. Literally, that's what it's called, guys. That's what it's called. That's what it's called. It's called literally, it's called the United Negro College Fund. Literally. So, do not block me, censor me. So, the average annual cost is $11,000 to go here. Let's go fact check that. Right here it says if you're taking 15 credit hours in tuition, it's very weird. We're going to say per semester. Per semester, you're looking at, if you're off campus, you're looking at tuition. You're looking at $4,104. I tried to say it in the chat and they blocked it. Oh yeah, because I do have it as a censor because I didn't want nobody coming in here saying that in the chat. So I do have it censored. I have that word censored, and I have the other version of it censored as well, G. Because people were wearing that word out, and I don't really like. I'm not a fan of it. I don't really like when we say that word, you know, G. I don't like when we say it. So just being universal, I just blocked it and censored it. So there is 4,000. It's 4,104 per semester, and then of course if you stay on campus, you got to worry about room and board. which is an additional. I get it, and then it means to interrupt. Oh, you good, G? You good? I can always cut it out when I'm live streaming. Like, I mean, when I edit it, it's good. And so, if you stay on campus, guys, it's gonna be $2,000 and $1,000, pretty much $2,000 and $2,000 for room and board, student fees. If you stay on campus for one semester, you're looking at 18 grand at the school. But if you stay off campus, you're looking at 10 grand still. That's what they're saying for the per semester. So right here, I get what they're saying on the college scorecard. They say it's about 11,000 because it's about 10,000 if you stay off campus. But you stay on campus, you're looking at 18 grand per semester. And then when I hear per semester, I'm thinking, okay, per semester. There's only 2 semesters in college. So but right here, I guess the way they do it, they said a total cost for 1 year for a full-time student is this price, what we said, the 10 to 18 grand. So to help them out, so I don't get them the bad and most, I guess, not accurate rating, but I'm giving them the best. They say right here for the year. When I hear for the year, for 1 year, that means from August to May, you're looking at paying 18 grand if you stay on campus. And keep in mind, guys, this school has a very high non-payment rate of students not being able to pay their loans back, their federal loans. So as we can see why, because it's expensive. It's pretty expensive. But we'll keep going. We'll get into that. Let's keep going. So they said, like, remember, you're going to pay about 10 grand. I'm going to just say you're going to pay about 10 grand. That's, if you stay on campus, most students probably stay on campus. You're going to pay about 18 grand. Let me get my calculator. 18 grand times 4. $18,000 times 4 is 72,000. But they said right here, if you go to Texas College, you're looking at earnings after being 10 years removed. After being 10 years removed from the school, after receiving financial aid, if you're a financial aid student, you're expected to make $34,000. But if you stay on campus here, you're gonna make about $72,000. And I seen your comment, G. Trust me, we gonna talk. We gonna talk before we close out. We gonna talk. So you're looking at 72,000. That's a bad return on investment. I don't have to say any more. Let's keep going. The graduation rate, as we said before, is 19%. Students who return after their first year is 44%. That's not good either. There's a lot of F's in here right now. I haven't seen one C average in here yet. The earnings, as we talked about, oh man, it'd be crazy when I see this stuff. It's HBCUs. It's crazy. The percentage, 45%. Right here it says 45% earn more than okay, no. I said that wrong. You have a 45% chance of earning more than a high school graduate. That's how I want to say it. You have 45% of chance of earning more than a high school graduate. You might as well not go here. And then test scores and acceptance, I think we know. Texas College has an open admission policy, which means students can apply and be accepted here. And the SAT and ACT policy for the college is unknown. And so it's 100% acceptance rate to have open admissions, essentially. So what do I rate this school? A F. No surprise. Texas College is an F. You just don't get no return on investment. You get 18 grand. You got to pay 18 grand a year to go here, and just to make maybe $34,000 a year. That's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. And then G said, not trying to be mean. I'm really not. But why would you go there? I'm guessing part of the reason the graduation rate is so low, people go and then leave. Yes. People go and leave. I'm looking at the reviews on here. Reviews. I'm looking at the reviews. They say they do have good, hardworking teachers. Somebody said dorm rooms. They said dorm room doors being kicked in when students are gone for the weekend. How recent are these Google reviews? This was a year ago. Wow. They say please do your research and read reviews before enrolling your child to attend. Worst school ever. Move in day was so unorganized, and the dorm Daniel Hall was obviously the oldest dorm there. Not clean, no air conditioning, dorm room door. And then they said dorm room doors been kicked in. The coach was very unorganized, horrible coach. In-person classes canceled a lot. No teaching, just giving work. The school states they do not discriminate, but people working there. The lady working in the dorm calling my son a white boy. My son is mixed race. The amount of money I have paid to this school is sickening for him to experience all of this. So glad he transferred. Wow. She said he was mixed. She paid the money. I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna start looking at college reviews. Like this is on Google. I'm gonna start doing that. I don't know why nobody would go here. You just didn't do your research. If you go into a school because of HBCU, as I said before, shame on you. Shame on you. That's the easiest way you could fall. Shoot, even on the Google, they said their graduation rate is 17%. It's not even 19%. The college scorecard said 19%. Do your homework, man. Texas College, man. This is you looking at it in itself. All we did was look at the numbers, go look at the prices, and they even got up here. I know they need some money. They even got given up here as a big old like you can't miss it. Like give to us, like, whew. And then I'm pretty sure the president and them are making a lot of money at this school too. G. That's the crazy part about it. The school doing this terrible. I bet the college president, the execs are making a lot of money at this school. Just saying. Man, we on our boondock stuff right now, man. Huey right now. We on our Huey moment right now, G. We on our Huey moment right now, man. We on our Huey moment. It's a Huey moment right here. This is a big Huey moment. If Texas College want to redeem themselves, we'll gladly come take a look at them dorms. I'm pretty sure they are bad with mold. Don't try to show us the best. Or got the HBCU scholarship to Texas U. LOL, stay woke. Yeah, Texas College, man. Or got the... Yeah, the only reason you gonna go there if you got an HBCU scholarship to Texas College. G said, "LOL, stay woke." Man, we on our Huey moment. This is a Huey moment. This is a Huey moment, man. You call this excellence? This is a shame. Hey, man, do your research. And that's pretty much it for the live stream, man. We're gonna clip that. Good talks with G. Have a safe weekend, G. I appreciate you, G. You helped me with, conversations and getting the message out. I appreciate that. We'll be back Monday. I don't think nothing crazy is going on Monday. Let me check my calendar. Hold on. Yeah, nothing crazy Monday, but we do hit the road Wednesday. But I'm gonna do the live stream before I leave on Wednesday, and then we're gonna so we'll definitely be on Thursday and that Friday like normal, and then peace chicken grease, man. You already know, man. Peace chicken grease, man. We just gotta keep going. Post us on social. Use your burner account, G. Tell your other homeboys and girls, work with you, running your business, post it on their burner accounts. Hey, tell them to get the bad parts about me. Post me talking about the HBCUs. That's how we get that publicity going. Post it, share it, do whatever you want. Hey, I don't mind it. All publicity is good publicity, as I see it. I know not to respond to the nonsense. So we'll see you Monday, and be safe. Have a safe weekend.